All right, third grade friends, we are going to be making a collage of a tiger inspired by Henri Rousseau's painting, Tiger in a Tropical Storm, which we have already looked at. What we're going to do today is we are going to be selecting a piece of painted paper from the basket at our table. Doesn't matter which one you pick, you're going to pick one, and this is what we are going to draw our tiger on. We are going to be using oil pastels today. Now, to help me draw my tiger, I am going to be using all of my elements of art. There's line, shape, color, space, value, and texture. Now, we already have texture on our paper from getting to use the texture tools when we made our painted papers. So I have some lovely textured lines already, and I can feel the texture on my paper. So to draw my tiger, I'm going to start with a white oil pastel. If your oil pastel looks dirty, you can just flip your paper over and just clean off the part that you need to write with. And then it's all good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the middle of my paper, and you guys are going to follow along with me. So once I've found this looks like about the middle of my paper, I'm going to move off to the side from the middle, and that's where I'm going to start to put an eye. And I realized that eye is kind of small, so I want to make a nice big one. So if I make a whoopsie, I can just make it bigger, because what I'm going to do is color that in. So it doesn't matter if I do it too small at first, I can always make it bigger. But I want a nice big white circle for my eye. Then I'm going to make another one on the other side. And I'm going to try and make them match. So that one's not quite the same size as that. So I'm going to try and just keep making circles until it's about the same size. It does not have to be perfect. Eyes are actually not the same size as each other anyways. So if one's a little bit bigger than the other, no big deal. We're gonna go ahead and color that in. Okay. So now I've got two big white eyes for my tiger. Now I'm going to take either my light green and my dark green, or you could do this with your light and dark blue. I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to use green, and I'm going to, if you will notice, I have two different values here, light and dark, right? So two different values. So I'm going to start with my light value color, and I'm going to come and make another circle right here on the inside of the eye. Okay. If I got any of this leftover stuff, I'm going to gently let it fall off the page. I'm going to make another one that matches right over here on the other side. Now I'm going to add some more detail with my dark value crayon. Sometimes you may need to peel the paper on your oil pastels down so that you can get more of the color. So with my dark value, I'm going to add some dark value at the bottom part of the eye. This is going to make my eye look like it has shine to it when I use my different values together. So now I'm done with these. I used my light and dark values to create nice shiny eyes. I'm going to switch back to my white oil pastel, and I'm going to use the art element of line to help me draw my tiger's nose. So sometimes if you want to draw with your finger first to decide how big you need it to be, like I might say, that's going to be too short. Maybe I want it to go down to here. So draw with your finger a few times to see what size you want the nose to be. We're going to take a straight line down from our eye and stop at the point we want. Then we'll do a straight line across, and we will come back up to the other eye. So it might help if we do both straight lines first and then come across. Now right here, I'm going to bring them down to a point to make a little triangle. I can go ahead and fill in his nose. And then I could pick a red, a white, or a peach, or a pink, and I can add some color to my tiger's nose. Notice when I put the color on top of the white, my color gets lighter. So I'm still using the art element of value. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start working on my tiger's mouth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the art element of shape to help me again. I'm going to make a big circle for the front part of his mouth. It's gonna go from the side of his nose down and up to the bottom point of the triangle. Like that. And then I'll do a matching one on the other side. Like that. And then again, using my white oil pastel, I'm going to color this space in because my tiger is white right here. You can see all that nice, lovely texture on our paper coming through, and that's okay. I've gotten to the point where I need to peel mine down a little bit. I can keep going. All right, once I've got the front of my tiger's mouth, I can do 2 curved lines at the bottom to make the bottom part of his mouth. I can come back in with a more color, and I could choose to color in where his cute little tongue is gonna be. All right. Now I need to finish the top part of my tiger here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a big circle that goes from the top of his cheeks, goes all the way around his head. Big half circle. And then I can do 2 triangle shapes up at the top for his ears. And now I've drawn my triangle, I've drawn my tiger. Now we're gonna come with our black oil pastel and we are gonna add some details. We do black last because black smears very easily and it's a very strong color. So using my black, I'm gonna trace over all of my white outlines so that I can see my tiger a little bit better. I will trace around the eye. I can give him a pupil. Maybe let me trace around this part. If it doesn't go perfectly where you want it, it's okay. I'm gonna trace around my black outlines. I'm gonna trace around the cheeks. Whatever you do, do not try to rub it off once it's on there. All that will do is smear and that will make it look even worse. So if you make a little whoopsie, like say my white and my black aren't completely on top of each other, that's okay. It doesn't matter. The white and the black together look really nice because they create contrast in our artwork. Now the last thing I'm gonna do with my black is add a few details. Like my tiger, he's probably gonna need some stripes. So I can do a really close together, like up and down zigzag line to make stripes on my tiger. When I make my stripes, they start from the outside of his head and then go in. I could give him some whiskers, because tigers have whiskers. I'm just doing circles and then sending lines out of my circles to create his whiskers. I want him to have thicker black on his ears. So you're the artist here. You can decide exactly how your tiger's gonna look. You can give him a line on his tongue or lines on his nose. I don't think I want to do that for mine, but like I said, you're the artist, you decide. Once you are done with your tiger, we're going to cut him out. All right, so when I cut my tiger from the paper, notice my tiger makes a shape. I'm going to follow the outside line to cut out the shape of my tiger. All right, so what I've done is using my leftover paper, I just drew some paws and a tail on my tiger and cut them out. So I have all these different pieces now. We're going to talk about the art element of space. I want to arrange these on my paper. And what it's going to look like when I'm done is it's going to look like my tiger is peering through the leaves, but we don't have the leaves yet. We need to get our tiger glued to our paper. So if I put my tiger like off over here, I'm not using my space well. I want to put him so that he's on the paper. And if I put him way down here, well, he's not gonna have room for his paws. So I need to think about the space of my paper, and I need to put him semi towards the top area. He can be off to one side, he can be kind of like this area, but we want him kind of towards the top. I think I'm gonna put mine maybe off to the side. Maybe he's gonna be looking to the side. And then I'll put his paws on, and then I'm gonna tuck his tail so that it's coming from behind his head. So it's gonna look like he's looking at us. So his body would be blocked by all the leaves, but we're gonna kind of see his tail and his paws peeking out. So once I've arranged it the way that I want it, I'm going to glue my tiger down. When I glue, I'm going to be using the regular old glue out of the bottle. You need to make sure that you twist the top so that it is open, and then you're gonna start with your head first. And you only wanna put glue towards the middle. You don't want it all the way on the edges. So I'm gonna kind of do a big swirl shape here, just so that it's glued in the middle. I'm not putting glue on the edges because I'm gonna wanna tuck leaves in around my tiger. So I want to leave spaces where I could tuck leaves in the next time. So I'm gonna glue him down. I can glue his tail and his paws, thinking about the space that I'm using on my black paper. I don't want to use so much glue that it is smashing out the sides. I just need enough in the middle of what I'm gluing, and then stick it down. And then these will go on the drying rack for today, and we will finish them next week.